Welcome to this module on Australian payroll taxation compliance. In today's session, we are going to walk you through the complexities and requirements set by the Australian Taxation Office, ensuring that you, as a business owner, payroll professional, or tax consultant, are fully equipped with the knowledge to navigate these regulations with confidence. Throughout this presentation, we will explore how maintaining accurate financial records, keeping up-to-date authorizations, and ensuring proper training are vital to effectively manage your payroll systems. Our discussion today will follow a logical sequence, beginning with the essentials of identification numbers like the Australian business number, before delving into topics such as income statements, employment termination payments, the importance of tax file numbers, and much more. Let's begin by understanding the very foundation of your business's interaction with the tax system, the Australian Business Number, or ABN. The ABN is not simply an identifier, it is a key element for your business when dealing with the ATO. It enables you to claim GST credits, offers smooth facilitation of transactions with other companies, and importantly, helps prevent clients from withholding an unnecessary 47% of payments for tax purposes. Without a proper ABN, not only do you risk misunderstandings with your clients, but you also open the door to complications in your overall tax processing. As you organize your payroll system, ensure that your ABN is active and up to date, as it plays a critical role in your business transactions and in claiming applicable credits. Now that we have established the significance of the ABN, our attention turns to income statements. Income statements provide detailed records of an employee's earnings and deductions for each pay period. They are essential documents that capture the summary of a worker's financial interactions with the company. One particular area of interest arises when an employee's tenure ends. When generating an income statement for a terminated employee, you must ensure that employment termination payments, often abbreviated to ETPs, do not form part of the gross income on the income statement. Instead, these ETPs have distinct tax treatments and must be communicated clearly to the employee. Employee awareness is essential, so it is advisable to inform them that their final pay, including the proper application of tax treatments, will also appear on their personal MyGov account. Employment termination payments, or ETPs, play their unique role in payroll taxation. Let's break down how these lump sum payments are treated. When an employee's term of employment ends, they may be entitled to an ETP, which could vary depending on the reason behind the termination. For example, if the separation from employment was due to a genuine redundancy, a tax-free component might be available. Conversely, if certain conditions are satisfied, such as receiving the payment within a year of termination, or if there is a tax-free element attached to invalidity. Different tax treatments apply, including concessionally taxed components or amounts taxed at the individual's marginal rate. Keep in mind that these caps and tax treatments are reviewed periodically, and for the 2020-21 financial year, we saw specific limits, such as an ETP cap of $215,000 and a whole income cap of $180,000. This complexity underscores the need for vigilance and precision in your payroll computations. The tax file number, or TFN, is another essential requirement to highlight. A TFN is a unique 9-digit reference that is critical for both individuals and businesses. It guarantees that everyone is placed correctly within the tax system, ensuring that individuals do not risk paying excessive tax rates. Not only does the TFN support the individual's identity within the tax framework, but it also facilitates the proper linking of superannuation arrangements and other government benefits. Without a TFN, both individuals and businesses are exposed to higher tax rates and potential penalties. Therefore, as you set up your payroll, always verify that the TFN numbers provided by employees are valid and duly registered with the ATO. Another critical area in maintaining payroll tax compliance is understanding and administering the pay-as-you-go withholding system, commonly known as PAYGW. Every business that deducts tax directly from employee wages needs to register for PAYGW. The deduction process for PAYGW is based on annual scales provided by the tax department. Attention to fine details, such as rounding tax values to whole dollars, is crucial because even a small error can result in non-compliance. In practical terms, PAYGW tax reporting might be carried out on a monthly or quarterly basis. If you report on a monthly basis, you might use an installment activity statement, whereas quarterly reporting typically involves a business activity statement. Both methods require diligent record-keeping to ensure that GST and other relevant items are accurately reported. A thorough understanding of your business's payment cycles and reporting obligations is key to removing potential conflicts later on. Moving into further detail, we must talk about fringe benefits tax, or FBT. Many businesses today employ salary packaging schemes as part of their benefits structure, so that employees can receive non-cash or additional benefits while keeping their income tax obligations minimized. However, FBT is a separate entity from income tax. It relates to taxes on non-monetary benefits generated by the employer. Employers must ensure that they register for FBT if their business structures include these benefits. When calculating FBT, you take into account the value of the benefits provided. A common challenge is ensuring that the correct tax rate and valuation method is applied, as improper calculations could lead to significant tax liabilities and potential fines. So if you're offering your employees attractive fringe benefits, in addition to these tax-related considerations, it's important to address employee entitlements under the National Employment Standards, the NES. These standards underpin the minimum entitlements for all employees in Australia. They cover a range of aspects like maximum weekly hours, annual leave, parental leave, and personal or sick leave entitlements. By adhering to the NES, businesses ensure that employee rights are not only respected, but also legally honored. Moreover, for companies involved in enterprise bargaining, it is critical to ensure that any individual employment agreements take into account these minimum requirements. Whether you are dealing with workplace agreements, industrial awards, or independent contractor arrangements, the common thread is that the NES guarantees baseline entitlements. Familiarity with these standards is essential in preventing disputes and guaranteeing fairness in work conditions. Let's now discuss the importance of individual employment agreements. In Australia, every employee has a contract of employment, which can be either written or unwritten. These agreements provide clarity on the terms and conditions of employment, separate from what may be provided under collective or industrial awards. As an employer or payroll professional, differentiating between individual employment agreements and contracts with independent contractors is paramount. Each has unique elements and tax implications. For instance, while employees under individual agreements are typically covered by NES and other entitlements, independent contractors have different rights and responsibilities. Being clear on these distinctions ensures that payroll calculations, from deductions to superannuation contributions, are executed in a compliant manner. Superannuation is another cornerstone of the payroll system in Australia. The superannuation guarantee mandates that employers must contribute a minimum percentage of an employee's ordinary time earnings into their chosen superannuation fund. This is a compulsory contribution designed to ensure that employees have sufficient funds saved for their retirement. However, compliance in this area goes beyond simply making the contribution. The correct super fund must be identified. Contributions need to be processed on time through systems like SuperStream, and all amounts must be accurately reported. Penalties for failing to meet these obligations can be significant, so it's essential to incorporate rigorous checks within your payroll system. Often, considerations like salary sacrifice arrangements can affect the calculation of super contributions, making it even more important to understand the interplay between an employee's pay structure and their superannuation balance. Another vital component of compliance is workers' compensation. In Australia, employers are required to maintain statutory workers' compensation insurance to cover employees in the event of workplace injuries or illnesses. Workers' compensation schemes vary by state and territory, and this variance means that your business must be aware of the specific obligations depending on where you operate. Whether your employees are full-time, part-time, or on a casual basis, they should all have the safety net of workers' compensation. This insurance provides benefits if an injury occurs, but it also necessitates capturing and reporting detailed payroll data so that benefits are accurately allocated and any claim is supported by precise documentation. State payroll tax represents another layer of complexity that businesses must navigate. Unlike some other taxes, payroll tax is levied by individual states or territories based on the total salary and wages paid to employees. The tax thresholds and rates can differ significantly between states. For instance, Queensland and New South Wales have particular thresholds and compliance requirements that must be closely monitored. It is essential to ensure that your payroll system can differentiate between wages and benefits that are subject to payroll tax and those that are exempt. This dual responsibility, maintaining internal accurate records and meeting state reporting requirements, calls for sustained diligence and a well-organized system that can adapt to regional variations in taxation law. We now turn our attention to another type of payroll requirement, the Higher Education Loan Program, known as CHES Help. While not directly tied to traditional payroll operations, understanding CHES Help and related student loan programs is important for organizations that deal with fee structures in educational contexts. Under this program, eligible students receive government assistance with their tuition fees, where part of the fee may be paid up front to avail of discounts. Even though this may appear tangential to payroll functions, it underscores the interconnected nature of Australian taxation systems, where multiple domains, from educational loans to employee wages, intersect under the wider ATO framework. No discussion on payroll taxation would be complete without addressing the Medicare levy. The Medicare levy is a tax that helps fund Australia's public health system. Generally set at 2% of taxable income, the levy is added to the overall tax burden on employees. However, certain income thresholds may allow for reductions or complete exemptions for some individuals. When processing payroll, it is necessary not only to withhold the correct amount for PAYGW tax, but also to ensure that an appropriate amount is included for the Medicare levy, if applicable. This often requires a detailed understanding of each employee's taxable income and the thresholds set by the ATO. Using tools like the Medicare levy calculator can help ensure that the tax deductions reflect each individual's circumstances. As we extend our overview, it's important to recognize that businesses must continually update their payroll systems to reflect the most current requirements. The legislative framework governing payroll taxes, including state-level payroll tax, FBT, and superannuation contributions, is periodically updated. In aligning your payroll systems with these legislative requirements, you must also consider routine and non-routine payroll tasks. These tasks include handling award payments, which are the minimum payments an employee is entitled to receive. When it comes to non-routine requirements, there are additional complexities that might arise if, for example, you need to process life benefit or death benefit employment termination payments. It is imperative that your payroll system accounts for these differences, ensuring that any life benefit or death benefit ETP is calculated correctly. Another element that demands attention is the superannuation guarantee charge, SGC. In instances where an employer does not meet the minimum superannuation contributions by the due date, an SGC must be calculated and paid. A key part of building and maintaining an effective payroll system is record keeping. You must store both electronic and physical copies of all relevant documents. Within the framework of payroll, changes to employment conditions brought about through enterprise bargaining agreements also warrant careful attention. These negotiations, conducted between the employer and a group of employees or their representatives, often result in agreements that detail specific terms and conditions. Whether you are entering into new agreements or operating under legacy contracts, it is critical that the payroll system reflects the latest negotiated terms. This includes ensuring that the base pay, overtime, deductions, and other aspects of pay are aligned in accordance with both industrial awards and the national employment standards. forward, it is helpful to understand that compliance also extends to various leave entitlements mandated by both federal and state laws. For instance, employees are entitled to annual leave, personal leave, paid parental leave, and long service leave under the National Employment Standards. Each of these leave categories comes with specific conditions on how they must be accrued and paid. For example, long service leave, which is accrued over a significant period of continuous service, is calculated differently depending on the state and may be paid out upon termination in some cases. Your payroll system must be configured to handle these accruals correctly, ensuring that when an employee takes leave, the entitlements can be verified and paid without dispute. These diverse requirements, ranging from the administration of standard wages to the intricacies of non-routine payroll tasks and adjustments, underscore the significant responsibility that falls on payroll and tax professionals. Ensuring that every aspect of your payroll system is compliant with the latest ATO regulations is not only a matter of legal adherence, but also one of fostering trust and fairness in your workplace. As we come closer to the conclusion of our discussion, it is important to recap the main points to remember. First, the ABN forms the backbone of your business's identification with the tax authorities. Without a valid ABN, your business may face unwarranted tax challenges or lose out on the ability to claim necessary credits. Second, accurate income statements and the correct treatment of employment termination payments protect both the business and its employees, ensuring clarity in tax obligations. Third, confirming that every employee has a valid TFN prevents the risk of higher tax deductions and supports the integrity of the individual's tax records. Fourth, registration for PAYGW and proper reporting on business activity statements are fundamental to maintaining regular compliance with ATO requirements. In addition, it is critical to remember that adherence to the National Employment Standards not only fulfills legal requirements, but also plays a central role in safeguarding employee rights. Whether you're managing individual employment agreements, ensuring the accuracy of superannuation contributions, or maintaining comprehensive records for state payroll tax, every element must be addressed with thoroughness and care. The responsibilities extend to not only supporting routine payroll functions, but also to handling more complex scenarios such as employment termination payments and adjustments required to interstate employee relocations. To conclude, understanding and implementing the Australian Taxation Office's requirements for payroll systems is a task that demands precision, up-to-date knowledge, and unwavering attention to detail. By following the guidelines outlined in this session, you can confidently navigate the complexities of payroll taxation, ensuring that your organization remains compliant and that your employees are fairly treated in every aspect of their remuneration. Remember, the ultimate goal is not just to meet regulatory requirements. It's to foster transparency, maintain organized records, and build a trustworthy relationship with both employees and the tax authorities. Thank you for joining us on this journey to demystify the intricacies of Australian payroll taxation. As you move forward, we encourage you to review your payroll systems regularly, update your records in line with the latest legislative changes, and seek professional guidance whenever necessary. Ensuring compliance is an ongoing process, and staying informed is the key to success. We hope this guide has provided you with a clear understanding of everything from ABNs and income statements to ETPs, TFNs, PAYGW, and more. By following these principles, you can build and maintain a robust payroll system that is not only compliant with the ATO's guidelines, but also supportive of a strong, legally secure business environment. Remember, every detail matters when it comes to payroll compliance, and your dedication to accuracy and thoroughness will pay dividends in the long run. As we wrap up this instructional session, we invite you to take the insights shared here and apply them to your daily payroll operations. Stay updated with any changes in the legislative environment and continue to invest in training and improvements to your systems. With diligence and commitment, you will ensure that your business thrives within Australia's dynamic tax system and maintains high standards of employee care and financial responsibility. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to helping you succeed in managing your Australian payroll taxation requirements with confidence and precision.